But to them, for them to hit you up and say, hey, like, I have something going on, and you're like, oh yeah, dude, I'm here. What's up? That's something cool too that I try to help with. Obviously I'm not an expert to handle like certain things, but I will try to see if there's a red flag. Like I've had kids confess that they thought about committing suicide, and I cry with them and I talk with them as best as I know. And I've given kids a skateboard and they're like, oh man, like, wow, thank you for this. Like, you're not even gonna believe me. Like, I really thought about, in the morning I woke up, I've been getting bullied for the last 2-3 years. I honestly thought today was my last day. I came to skate, I was gonna go home, and I was gonna kill myself. I've had that, dude. And I tell them, oh, fuck that, dude. Like, dude, you have a family here, and I'll call somebody over that are the kids that I know that are in the skate park. Hey, come here, dude. Like, come here. And they're like, what's up? Like, hey, what's your name? Oh, let's say, David or whatever. Hey, David, meet my homie, Tony. Tony, hey, this one wants to learn some new tricks. Like, hey, would you be down to, like, show him? Yeah, let's do it, Like, now he's got a friend at the skate park. Now he's got, it's not like you have, like, it's not like you have, it's not like it's, like, the meaning of life or nothing, but it's kind of like you have some kind of purpose now. Like, you have, like, oh, I'm going to go to the skate park now because I'm going to meet Tony to go skate with him. So now he's not alone anymore. He's got one person that is connected to him, and he knows that we're connected to him. You know what I mean? And that's why I sponsor some of these kids. I try to give them as much as I can. Obviously, right now I try to do as minimal contact as possible. But I'm not going out there giving skateboards for due to COVID and all that. But definitely, if you guys are going through some stuff and you want somebody to reach out to, you can definitely message us and let us in. Like, we might not be experts, but we know a lot of people.
Yeah.
We definitely will connect to the right place and help out as much as we can.
Yeah, especially because like we ourselves are going through it at a large amount of time.
Yeah, bro.
That's what the kids, and that's what I tell my nephews and my nieces, and even to other people, even people that are our age. I was like, dude, I go through it the same way you do.
Absolutely.
And maybe it's just a little different, but guess what? It's the same thing, dude. And just know it's not over. There's still stuff to go through, and there's always somebody out here for you. And there's always either whether it's me, whether it's your cousin that lives in Arizona, or your friend that lives across the street from you.
Yeah. Like,
there's always somebody there, regardless, dude. And there's always people that are gonna have your back.
Yeah, man. I did it. You guys. I know that like. When I was going through the whole stuff with my dad, I know that like you weren't bartending so much, but I know that like Carlos and Alex and Jess were there and stuff, and I know they would see me because I would go straight from work, to the bar, and I wouldn't say much. I would just sit there, and I would just start drinking, and I'd just be like, man, like, I don't know what to do. My dad's dying. I didn't know what to do. I don't know who to ask for what or what to say or what to expect, and I'm going like, man, like, I don't know what to do. So I just started drinking and everything. And it wasn't until I started letting people in, hey, like, this is what's going on, that people started listening, People are like, oh, man, like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Unfortunately, I found out late, I went through so much, respectfully, my wife, ended up, deciding that she's had enough with me. I was doing stuff like, staying out drinking and disappearing and doing all this stuff, and unfortunately it took me this long after, I wake up in the morning sometimes and I don't have my family with me. It took me that much to realize, like, damn, like, I fucked up, because I didn't talk. I didn't talk to anybody. I should have gone.
But that's the whole thing about sometimes, like, growing up in the hood, like, you gotta suppress your feelings.
So crazy. Yes.
And you can't,
because you're a bitch if you talk about it.
You can't be
don't let that be your real.
And that's like, I think the whole expression about, like, doing certain stuff, that aren't good for you, and continuing to do them because you feel this way, you know, sometimes you want to die, and sometimes you don't want to be there. You don't want to be in this place, this position.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
and I've learned.
Yeah.
And I drop little nuggets of love for people, you know, and like I message them and I'll say like, hey, you know, I'm here for you as much as I can be. That I'll you know, message me if you need anything or whatever. I don't care. Like, you know, I'm always trying. You know, I'm always trying. You know,
and that's the cool thing about it. Like if I tell people all the time, it's like, dude, like I don't mind taking you in, like with like in the hopes of like you being better. But if I see you getting worse and worse and worse, it's like, to me, it's like, dude, you're purposely not trying to help yourself, and me being here and trying to hold your hand through this process is not the right way. Maybe you have to go venture out and maybe destruct yourself, maybe not kill yourself, but like kill kill that anxiety that you have with yourself and stuff, and do it in a manner that you think is possible. But like for me, at least, like I will try to help. I'll try to reach out. I'll try to be like, hey, dude, like, you want to go do this? You want to go do that? Like, hey, like, let's go do this. You know,
Kobe swap me.
You know,
those moments where I'm like, hey man, you know what'll help you out with that? If we took 5 grams of mushrooms together.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
that ego death, bro. That's, you know, the moment that you start to realize that the earth and what it does is just so much bigger than you. Like, that's when,
dude, you let go.
Dude, honestly, getting choked out by women half my size and getting my ass kicked by guys half my size, and like but honestly, dude, that's humbled me a lot, because it's like it's a humbling experience during jiu-jitsu or kickboxing. It's like the most ego killing thing in the world, because then you realize, like, man, like I somebody's better than me.
Yeah, dude.
But in that sense, you get to get better, you know. And that's what I tell everybody is, like, you need to realize what you're into, what you like, what you should be working on all the time, you know. And like for me, it's photography and doing this podcast, you know. And like, I know for Adrian's like music and stuff, like creating music, like going out and doing DJing. I know for you, it's like fixing video games, you know, watching tutorials, watching how to do it. I know for my roommates, like watching what he could do as far as like effects or like moving cameras and stuff. And we'll have like, that was our whole thing when we used to do edibles. We're like talking about figuring out how to like how to make things, like how to envision things, how to like do, like me telling them like, dude, I had this psychedelic trip where I was like going through like space, and I was in an Aztec tribe, and I was like meeting fucking aliens that like don't look like the gray aliens that we know, like learning that, like, you know, these aliens were like different colors. Felt like I was watching Xenon during the 21st century.
I was like, this is all edibles?
That's all edibles.
Damn.
It's all edibles.
I'm trying to get some of those edibles.
And
I'd probably eat like a little bit like this. I mean, done.
But that's like my brain has always been in constant state of like transformation, you know. And that's like, because
you realize yourself and you understand that you actually exist as that, you know, as that. When you understand your existence, your mortality, I think if you wanted to go one way, you will go that way. And then sometimes like you're creating, like, you know, we can get into that conversation about creating, but like, you know, I always see my mind as a printer. Like, you can create something for yourself in the future. And you're thinking about it, and you start creating it. You just like make it happen without even realizing. Like, it's such a tool. Like, you start attracting that energy, those types of people, that vibe that you know, like people believe in that, and they start going with that, and then before you know it, you're like, fuck, I remember last year when I first started thinking about that. This was just an idea, and like you didn't understand. Your brain, you created that, and you made it happen. You know. But it takes a lot.
Yeah,
it takes one.
And it's not an overnight thing. It's not like something where like you're like, hey, like this is just gonna happen tomorrow, dude. It takes super time and super patience, and not being able to rush stuff, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And wanting it to happen too, you know. You need to want it, like really want it. Not just say you want it. You need to
Because I've heard people. It's funny because like now being in this side of the spectrum and stuff. Like now seeing people that are like, oh, I want to learn how to do photography. Yeah. Like I want to do that. Like, yeah, dude, come through. Like people have always asked me like, hey, is it cool? Like I want to shoot with you. Like I want to go out and shoot with you. I was like, honestly, I'm the worst teacher ever because
sometimes those are the best. You don't even realize it, but yeah.
But for the sole reason of the fact that like I can't explain how I shoot or what I shoot or why I'm shooting it until I'm done with it, and the fact that like I can't be like, oh, maybe you should use this or maybe you should use that. I can't be that person sometimes, you know. I just shoot and I can just create it in my mind, and that's the whole creative process. It's not like oh, like I had this vision in mind. I only have one picture in vision, and then whatever comes after that is like whatever, you know.
I understand 100% because as a drummer, I've had a lot of people ask me like, hey man, like don't you like you think you can give me lessons?
Like you said, dude, like kids hitting you up, it's like, dude, like yeah. Like I've had like adults come up to me and be like, hey, can you teach my kid how to take photos? I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like I'm such a bad teacher, but he could come.
Hey, you can watch me. Hold my shit.
He could just tag along on a shoot there. I'm like, don't necessarily have adult stuff going on.
Like the one that...
Like the OnlyFans paper, baby. Let's go. Big cheeks.
Right. He's like, all right, mijo, hold the light.
Hey, but yo, fucking Bella Thorne. She fucked up my income and shit. Real, fuck Bella Thorne.
Yeah, you just gonna make me pay $200 and not show me titties? Fuck you.
I don't know about that scene, but I've heard that it's expensive.
I have my OnlyFans account.
Hey, my boy!
I have zero shame in my motherfucking game.
Hey, bro, you shouldn't have shame.
Nah, I helped the homie out who started his own t-shirt company. I'll help the homegirl out who's trying to show me her booty for $15 a month. It's all good.
Hey, like I'm gonna help myself out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Anyways, though, I do have an account, and I have been kind of watching like what's been going on and how everyone interacts on this shit. You know what I mean? It's a trip, bro. It's I think the reason why people don't like it or there's a stigma about it, and it goes the same thing with like Cardi B and stuff like that, and there's just this whole thing about women owning their own sexuality.
Yeah.
And
hell yeah.
You know, as long as there's been a prostitute, there's been a pimp.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is the pimp.
Yeah.
But it's not how it used to be.
You got like 10 pimps.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, what's the
designers?
There's so many women who are making money off their own shit, and it's going to them now that it makes
sense for them.
You know, it makes men frustrated because we're not getting any of that money now. Unless you're somebody like you who's taking the scrutiny and taking the heat and jumping in it. You know what I mean? But there's just a lot of that, bro. There's just a lot of like this feeling of like I'm not the dominant in these sexual relationships anymore, so these things bother me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which which just kind of while we're on the topic here, I want to give Diego a huge fucking just pat in the back, man, because you know this is so funny. You know, he did a shoot here and everything, and
here we're recording at your house.
Yes, at my house. Yeah. He did a shoot, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, you can use my place. It's no big deal. Did a shoot. They were all done and over with, and then jokingly I'm like, hey man, what's up? Let me see those pics. And you know what his answer was? He was like, nah, bro, I keep it professional, 100%. I was like, that's what's up, fool. I respect that. I respect that 100%. So then he gave me his login. I'm just joking. He kept it professional 100%. Even though he's my homie, he was like, no, bro, I can't do that. Like, I gotta keep it professional. I was like, I respect that 100%. I fucking respect that. And I never brought it up again because he stayed logged in on my computer. So no.
Yo, if you listen to this right now, you got OnlyFans. send me that free 7-day trial. Me too. At Bluebridge_Poppy. Let me know. I'll buy if you send me the trial. I'll buy the little pictures that you selling for extra. Don't trip. Just let me know.
You can inbox us.
Yeah,
it's all good. We'll try it out. We'll spread the